Welcome to the NAMB Podcast, where we bring you the voices that drive the mortgage industry. Join dynamic hosts Ginger Bell and Matt Shields as they dive into bold conversations with top experts, industry leaders, and change makers from across the country. From insider insights to game-changing trends, this is your front row seat to what's happening right now in the world of home finance.
Well, hi there, and welcome to another episode of the NAMB Podcast. My name is Ginger Bell. I have my co-host, Matt Shields. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing great, Ginger. I'm so excited for our guest today. We have a very impressive guest, and I can't wait for our audience to hear what she has to say.
Absolutely. So let me introduce. I have had the pleasure of meeting someone who is so impressive in our broker community and our non-Dow community, and that is Aleyna Groves with Groves Capital. So thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. I'm so excited to be a part of this podcast with you guys. I love the vision that you guys bring and the energy, and I'm just excited to chat all mortgage talk. I'm like a mortgage nerd. I love it.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, one of the things when Matt and I started the podcast was to be able to really have discussions about what it is to start a business as a broker, grow a business as a broker, and kind of the day to day. So I want you to walk back to the beginning of Groves Capital, because you guys have had absolutely amazing growth, and you're based in San Diego, California, right?
Yes. Yep. We're in San Diego, and yeah, it's been about a decade or so that, when we launched Groves Capital. Prior to that, both my husband and I were in mortgage and real estate 10 years prior. So we bring, 20 years each in mortgage and real estate. And, the goal around opening up our own brokerage was really to solve a problem for ourselves. And I think a lot of business owners can attest to that really the most successful ones are solving a big problem that they have in their industry. And most of the time, other people are having that same issue. So, when we founded Groves Capital, it was an opportunity for us to create the platform that wasn't out there for us. We wanted to have a virtual model. We wanted to have access to all the different loan types out there. We didn't want to have to turn a client away. We wanted education. We wanted positivity. We wanted, reinforcement that we're doing the right thing, or at least someone that's nimble enough to make changes, because our market is like a wave, right? It changes and it has seasons. So to be aligned with someone that can make those changes when necessary, we just didn't find that. So we decided to create it ourselves. And so, fast forward 10 years later, we are approved in, I think, 32 states. We have gone from the broker channel, but we're also non-delegated as well. We have, a couple hundred loan officers that are partnered with Groves Capital across the nation. So it's been an incredible journey, and still busy. You can see all my paperwork in the back. It never ever ends. And now we're in this new age where we're trying to turn everything paper into digital. So
Right.
Lots of great exciting things that are coming up within Groves Capital and in the tech space and in general. So yeah, I'm so excited to share with you guys.
Awesome. So Matt always comes up with some great questions, but I know it looks like maybe you're popping on and off a little bit. But I want to lead into, because for you at Groves Capital, it's not just you. You have, and you really make available that opportunity for others to have the same. So what made you decide to grow, besides just starting with just you and your husband and this vision to be able to create something that really didn't exist for you in your vision? What made you decide to grow, and what did that path look like?
Oh my gosh. In the very beginning, it was, just Chris and I. We were crushing, just us two. We're like, okay, this is great. And there was one moment where we have two kids, and where our daughter was a newborn, our second kid was a newborn. And my husband's the one that said, because you know what, I think we should start growing this. I'm like, what do you mean growing this? I'm like, I'm growing my belly. I'm growing this. There's some more growing. What do you mean growing? And he's like, no, if this is exactly what you like, and we're doing great, there's going to be other people that want this. And so that was a conversation that we had, and we set really clear goals. And the real reason, I guess, behind that is because we wanted to be able to bring the platform and the ease that we felt working with our platform to other people in the industry. And, you know, growth, it's not easy. I think anyone who's grown anything can attest to that as well, that it's not easy. And in the beginning, you've got to wear every single hat, right? You're not just the CEO, you're the COO, you're the accountant, you're the attorney, you're the customer service rep, you're literally everyone and everything. So in the beginning, it's tough. But I think what we learned from the exponential growth over the last decade is that that's just the natural path that you go. And eventually you get to that point where you have to let go and you have to trust others to help you scale your business. You can't do everything on your own. That's why it's a team, right? You have to have other people involved. So I think one of the, the biggest things that I can say about growing your business is acknowledging what are the things that you're good at, what are you not good at, and what you're not good at, trusting someone to do that for you. And that's how you will continue to grow and elevate your business. So that doesn't come easy. And sometimes it takes you to hit a few walls in the meantime where you're like, oh, what am I doing wrong? You're like, okay, maybe I'm not the right person for this role. Maybe I need to give that to someone else. So, that definitely, it just takes time. It takes time or advice. And I think speaking to other people in the industry that have been there, done that before is incredibly valuable because they've made those mistakes. So if you can learn from other people around you that have done bigger, better things, I think that is kind of a life hack that maybe, not everyone takes advantage of, but, we should, so, and you have to surround yourself with other people that are doing incredible things. And for me, that's an inspiration, something that I can live up to and I can use as an example.
Yeah, sharing is so important. And I think networking, and I love that you mentioned that, that's one of the greatest advantages of NAMB.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my best friends that I've met in the industry that I call and pick their brain and we talk about, challenges or struggles or growth are those that I've met through NAMB to be able to make those connections.
Mm-hmm.
So that's important to do that. We've gone through and we've seen this a lot over the last several years of originators coming back to being a broker.
Mm-hmm.
And so taking that first step and saying, just like you did, it's like, hey, I'm going to, we want to do this on our own. We're going to build our own. And having that ability with great wholesalers that we have, great partners that NAMB has, makes that available, right? Number one. So couldn't do it if we didn't have our wholesale partners to be able to provide that mix of all of the different products, whether it's your non-QM, whether it's your VA, whether it's your Reno, whatever that is. So that's the first thing, is make sure you're networking and connecting with those right wholesalers, right?
Right.
The second then, so, and I'm a logical thinker. So it's like, okay, make the move into being a broker, got that down. Now I want to grow and scale my business. And so, Chris made that decision, as you said. And so, that first step, was it hire one person that's another loan officer? What did that look like? Because I think that's where a lot of our audience is, okay, I want to grow it, but do I start, do I build the systems first? Do I find another person first? Do I start recruiting? I mean, which comes first, the chicken or the egg, right?
Yeah. For us, it was, if you wait until your product that you're selling is perfect, you'll never launch because it'll never be perfect, right?
Amen.
So I think to start with, first keeping that in mind, that there's not always the best time to start because you'll keep putting it off. I think the trick is to just start. And so if you start with, at minimum, the people that are around you, if you're in the business, you're bound to know other loan officers, right? So me being in mortgage 10 years prior to having my own brokerage, I worked for retail banks and I worked for a few other retail lenders. And, I had that circle of people that I knew. I knew what they were suffering from because I left it to start buying. So that was my first audience that I attacked. I said, hey, I know what's going on over there. Look at how different it is over here. And so by using that as, my first, I guess, test people to bring on, it was a hit because it validated the fact that I was solving a true problem that we saw in retail, and they were more than willing to come and test it on the broker side. So, I would say for anyone who's looking to grow their brokerage, just start having those conversations. It's not going to be perfect, and maybe you won't get the first 2, 3, 5, 10 people that you pitch, but you're going to refine your pitch and you're going to refine your story, and you'll find the right way on how to, continue to grow your company. So I would say start, and then of course you can continue to improve. It's, an ever improving business, and on your own, on your personal level as well. It's always evolving and changing, but you can never get to that potential end goal if you don't just take that first step. So just take the first step, whatever it is.
You're dropping some knowledge bombs for us right now. That is such good information. I love how you created what you were looking for. And that's just so innovative, and being able to flow with how business is and the ups and downs and the seasons. And then just seeing a pain point for other loan officers and creating the answer to that pain point. That's amazing information to share with our listeners, and just starting. You start something one day and you just keep doing it every day, and now you're doing it. It just takes that initial start, and it's never going to be perfect. And that's just amazing for everyone to hear, just the success you're having and creating it, creating it from thin air.
Thank you. Yeah, that's it's pretty special when you can think of something. Literally, it's nothing besides a thought in your mind, and then you can speak it, and then you can write it, and then you can literally create it and then watch it in motion. There's nothing quite like it, aside from having having your own child. You're like, I made that, right? But now seeing it as a business, it's gratifying too, that it's something that you liked so much and that you wanted to build and other people like it too. It's incredibly satisfying. So thank you so much, Matt and Ginger, for the feedback. It's great. Thank you.
And one thing I want to throw in too, I'm a new dad. I have a 6-month-old as of yesterday. And how are you balancing the time for family and starting a business and everything you're doing? How are you able to juggle all these big things at once?
The balance question is, it's a big question, right? Everyone wants to, what's the secret sauce? How do you balance everything? How do you grow without getting overwhelmed and, maybe not applying as much time to one side than you should the other? And, I think balance is in the eye of the beholder, right? Your idea of balance is different than mine. And I think that your balance scale might be different depending on what you're trying to do. Right now, I talk in definitives. I am growing my company, my mortgage company and my AI company. It's a given. It's happening. The path, it's already there. It's lined up, and I see my finish line. So for me, I'm hyper focused on that. And yes, will my, social life suffer a little bit right now? Maybe. But at the same time, I know that it's for a short period of time, that I need to just be a freight train so that I can set myself up for the future, right? And so for me, it's a little different because I work with my husband. And when my kids are home after school, I am focused with my kids. But I can only do that because I'm in the mortgage industry and I'm allowed to be out and about. I don't have to be in an office. I can be networking. I can be on my cell phone. And that was one of the main reasons why I chose this industry in the beginning, was the freedom to choose my time, because I knew in the future, I'm going to be a wife. I'm going to be a mom, and I want the freedom to be able to work as much or as little as I want to. And mortgage affords us that time and that freedom back. And so that's what I'm so excited too about the new tool that I'm building with Groves IQ, is that it gives people their time back, which is our most valuable asset. And that will then in turn give me more balance that I'm searching for, right? So a little bit of sacrifice right now up front, but it'll give me that balance and that time back on the other side.
And good segue. So let's jump into that, because you mentioned Groves IQ, and this is an AI-powered technology that you created out of, again, a frustration. It's like, okay. And I love when you and I first had a conversation about it, it's solving the problem in the middle of the transaction. Mm-hmm. So tell me first of all, how you came up with it and what it does.
And that's exactly what I wanted to have as the tagline. It's the messy middle no one thinks about. So Groves IQ was built again out of the need of solving a major problem that I saw In retail mortgage and wholesale, it was not only the brokers that were having that same annoying issue, it was also the lenders that had no visibility, title, escrow, borrowers. There's just no connection between all these parties when it comes to the wholesale channel.
Right.
And the retail side has that. That's built in. That's part of their mechanism. That's part of their tech from beginning to end. The wholesale space, we're all disconnected and we're all working in our own portals, essentially. And that creates a lot of repetition. That creates a lot of lost communication, longer processing times. And so what I created initially was to solve the problem for my loan officers. It was to give them a tool that could take the messy middle of the transaction and create a way that it would automatically collect and verify, communicate, update milestones, and not just like, hey, your loan's clear to close, or hey, your condition got signed. It's also like, hey, you just unlocked your $5,000 commission to the loan officer or to the borrower. Hey, you're 5 days closer to owning your dream home, right? So not only from an internal operational perspective, but also from the marketing perspective, right? All those things combined into one is what Groves IQ does. So essentially it takes the messy middle of the transaction from conditional loan approval through clear to close, and it reduces that really, really manual 30-step process. Everyone's disconnected, phone calls, emails, messages, hey, where's my doc? And it reduces it down to 3 clicks. So again, giving us our time back, giving everyone a much better and unified experience. And what it really does is it enhances the user's capability to now really focus on what's the most important, right? Relationships, right? How do we, like, AI is here to stay, but it's not going to take away the relationships. In mortgage and in real estate, you still have to have that communication. You still have to have, I went to dinner with you, or how are your kids? Let's meet up at this conference, right? Those are the things that will bring you value for the long run and keep those clients with you for 5, 10, 20 years, and now their kids are doing business with you, right? But if you're focused in your pipeline, forwarding documents and hey, where's this, where that all day long, it takes away time from doing the things that matter most. So that's really the main pain point I'm solving, is from conditions to clear to close, the middle of the transaction, the part everyone forgets about, but the part that everyone is the most annoyed about. that's what I'm solving for.
But it keeps everyone on the same page, because and this is the thing I love about what you've created, is it creates that one place to where, whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're the processor, whether you're the borrower, whether you're the account executive, whether you're the underwriter,
Yep.
It gives that ability to have everyone in there to say, oh, yeah, these conditions are all here. And you don't have to question it. It's not a matter of 10 million emails later to do that. And so the time, you nailed it, girl. And I know you're in the beginning stage of conversations, so I know it's one of those things. So for our audience, we'll definitely be doing some follow-ups, I know, talking about this, but those are kind of things. And this is what I love about our community, is being able to, you've created this and you didn't say, this is mine, I'm going to keep it and nobody else has it, and I'm going to use it to grow my empire. You're sharing this. And that was one of the things that really impressed me. And I know that I'm not the only one that's seen this wonderful giving nature that you have, because you just received an acknowledgement, a nomination, and an award for the 40 under 40. So congratulations on that, my friend.
Thank you so much. What an honor, and what incredible timing with everything that's happening. I just feel like do you guys know the word pronoia? Have you heard of this word?
No.
Yeah, you've heard of the word paranoia, though, right?
Right.
So this is the opposite, pronoia, which is the universe is conspiring in your favor.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that beautiful? And of course, it's meant to be a positive thing where
that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Out for all of the good things that are happening in your life. That's what you're focused on. You're focused on the wonderful meetings, the wonderful connections, and everything that's coming your way. And it's only coming to you because you are giving that back. So it felt really nice to receive that nomination, to be an honoree for National Mortgage Professionals 40 under 40. Thank you so much. That was very special.
Well,
that's an awesome accomplishment. And yeah, your positivity and you could just see it all over you, the way you're talking, the way you're thinking, and that 40 under 40 is so well deserved.
Thank you. Thank you.
So before we wrap up, I always, kind of like to leave it as like, if we're starting all over again, what would be the one thing that you would say, I would definitely do this? Because as Matt said, you've had so many nuggets, so many, just amazing knowledge bombs that you've dropped. But if you said, okay, I'm starting over again, I'm taking that first step, what's the one thing that you would say, I would definitely do this?
Oof, that's definitely a loaded question. I don't normally say that I would change things because the way things went.
No, and not necessarily changing, but I would definitely, and it could be something you did, and you say, I'm going to 10 times this.
Okay. I think one of the things that I would implement ahead of time before, I guess I would up my timeline from when I initially did it, would to become a non-delegated correspondent lender. I think we moved into that fairly quickly, but if I would have known more about it at the time, I would have rocket shipped right into that much quicker than I did. And so, if for anyone who's considering becoming a non-del lender, I would say definitely, reach out to the incredible team at First Funding. First Funding is incredible. They're an incredible warehouse line, and they have been such a great partner in that growth. And I think if you're looking to level up your business and you're looking to kind of climb that next stage from broker, non-delegated correspondent is the next natural step. If you're afraid, don't be afraid. Just learn, dig in, and implement. You'll learn as you go. If you make a mistake, you'll learn from it. That's the beauty of making mistakes, is that you get to learn from it and just do better next time.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Very good. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And for those who are listening, if they want to get in touch with you, how can they reach you?
So you can reach me on LinkedIn. It's Aleyna Groves. You can see it right here. So you could search me and you'll see a ton of information on Groves Capital and on Groves IQ. I'm constantly dropping positive messages in there. So go ahead and hit a follow. You can also find me on Instagram at AleynaGroves.com. Just Aleyna Groves, not .com.
Aleyna Groves. Okay, perfect. So we'll make sure and we'll make sure and put those in the links as well, so you can connect and follow up with you, because I'm very anxious to hear about what's happening with the AI. So we'll definitely be dropping some of that. And Matt, I'm sure will be reaching out as far as getting you onto some of the things he's doing for the NAMB Young Professional.
I would love
Absolutely.
that. I would love that.
Yeah, we would love to have you on, Aleyna.
You got to drop that age to 40, though. You can't keep it.
It's in the works. We're working on that. All
right, awesome.
40's the new 30, right?
Yeah, don't you know?
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Well, thank you guys both so much for joining. And remember to tune in to the NAMB podcast. We have new episodes every week. And if you're not already a member of the NAMB Hive, you should join at namhive.com. And then, of course, find out more about becoming a member at NAMB at namb.org. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the NAMB Podcast, brought to you by the National Association of Mortgage Brokers. For more episodes, resources, and guest interviews, visit nambpodcast.com. Don't forget to follow, share, and subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you